The headline that we read very often and that we see very often is that the recession and the downturn in housing hurt minorities the most.
Yes, and you can see it in particularly home ownership rates. We reached a peak of home ownership rates for African Americans and for Latinos in 2006, right before the beginning of the recession. But through 2007, things began to stall, and since then, we've seen a decline in the home ownership rate for both of these groups. This is particularly true for immigrant Latinos, but nonetheless, you see this decline in the home ownership rate. For Hispanics, for example, fewer than half today own their homes, but in 2006 it was nearly half.
So those are the numbers. Why? What's the underlying? What's the methodology or the footnotes that we were talking about a second ago?
Well, I think a lot of it is linked to what happened with jobs in the economy. So as the recession was starting in 2006, particularly as the housing boom became a bust, many Latinos in construction lost their jobs. That had an impact on home ownership rates among Latinos, and Latinos still haven't quite recovered from that.
So when I was asking the state of race, as I was stalling there for a second, and when Tanner and I were talking, what is the state of race? He was pretty clear about it.
I think that
state of race when we talk about housing, sorry.
When you're talking about housing, I think certainly there are differences and there's a divide when it comes to home ownership and the creation of wealth. Whether you're talking about Latinos and African Americans or whites or Asians, there are divides across all these different groups on different measures. But certainly some of these gaps have become larger since the onset of the recession.
I'm simple. Good, bad, horrible, great.
I would say that some progress, but a lot yet to be made.